Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe vom SI-Talk und ich bin heute in Wien von der dritten Vienna Gold and Silver Network Night. Und am Nachmittag haben wir immer so eine schöne Runde mit ein paar institutionellen Investoren und wir fühlen sozusagen den Firmen auf den Zahn. Wir sind aber nicht so unangenehm hoffentlich wie Zahnärzte, aber wir tun unser Bestes, damit wir die Informationen draus kriegen. Bei mir ist ein sehr gern gesehener Gast. Sie kennen ihn, Bradford Cooke von Endeavour Silver. Wir haben erst vor kurzem das letzte Interview gehabt, aber das Unternehmen hat letzte Woche ihre Quartalsproduktionszahlen geliefert und deswegen soll er uns die jetzt einmal selber erklären. Brad, thank you to have time again. The last interview you do on the PDAC, but you have last week your production numbers. So is there any unexpected numbers there, or maybe you can just fill us in a little bit?
I'm happy to say that it was a regular quarter. In the first quarter, we produced about 16,000 ounces of gold and 1.5 million ounces of silver. So just another regular quarter. And of course, we won't have our costs for another month or so, but we're very happy with the operations.
Yeah, at the PDAC, you talk a little bit about a new technique, was what you want to use El Cubo. How this technology working and can this change the actual plan for El Cubo?
So let's put that in context. El Cubo has been our highest cost mine, and even though we've made great changes and reduced the operating costs on an all-in basis to $18 last quarter, in Q4, that's not good enough in a $15 silver market. So we have identified an existing technology used elsewhere in mining, primarily in diamond mining, called ore sorting. It's an optical scanning system to remove the waste from the ore stream on the conveyor belt going into the plant. And we have now completed the initial lab work, and the test results were spectacular, actually. They were very, very robust. We're getting a very high rate of rejection of the waste particles from the conveyor belt going. And if we can now move to a pilot test, so last week we shipped 2 tons of El Cubo ore to the test lab in Kentucky. And we'll go down in May and take a look at this test when it's being run. This is a pilot test of El Cubo ore through the optical scanner. And if the pilot test continues to work well, then I can conceive of actually doing an installation this year at El Cubo and running it on not a commercial basis, but on an extended, like 3-month basis, to make sure that we can actually make lower costs and more profits using this technology at El Cubo.
What does this mean, lower cost?
Well, it's too soon to say, but if we were able to get our all-in costs per ounce down to the $18 range at the end of last year, our goal would be to try and get the costs down below the current metal price. So $16 silver means that our goal would be at least $15, maybe as low as $12 all-in costs. So let's talk about how that's possible with just an ore sorting technology. If we can reject the majority of the waste in the ore stream going into the plant, that does 2 things. It increases the grade of the ore stream, so that reduces the cost per ounce going into the plant. But it also expands the capacity of the plant because you're putting less waste in the plant.
For sure.
Those 2 things combined, once we get a good 3-month run done, we'll be able to calculate the economics. And so far it looks very good.
So that's mean on the other side, if everything working fine and the test is working and the test installation is working, that maybe you're not do this or bring this mine to or shut down the mine to bring it on maintenance, or maybe you
Well, keep in mind that we're reducing the production every quarter, so that means we are laying off some of the workers every quarter, and we'll look to a shutdown late this year. It won't be until the 4th quarter that we could have such a scanner set up at the plant. So I don't know whether there will be a shutdown or not at this point. It's still part of the plan. But if it works commercially, then I can see either a briefer period down or maybe some low-level production while we start reinvesting the capital to open up new reserve areas and slowly ramp up production. We don't yet know what that window of opportunity looks like, but certainly if this technology works, we really want to embrace it and turn El Cubo into that low-cost asset that we originally envisaged.
I know exactly the price of the silver price itself is very important for him, especially when you produce it with $18 and nonetheless. So how quickly or how important is for you really the silver price for the El Cubo mine that you say, okay, with this silver price we will go forward and we don't shut down this. So we have both things. Maybe we have a technical advantage, but also a price advantage. We saw this year that the silver price is going up 30%. It's not bad. So maybe we do another 20%, and then we are over $18, and then it makes sense that you run El Cubo also with this. Without this technology.
We're certainly getting a little bit of help from the silver price. In the first quarter, silver was up 10%. Gold was up 17% in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So I am bullish. I think we'll see higher prices this year. And that should obviously help the economics for El Cubo. It's early to say that this will work, but we're going to invest the money to do the pilot test, and after that the mill test. If again we can reject the majority of the waste from the ore stream, it should have a major impact on our costs.
Yeah, my last question is: you have a new project that maybe really can change the whole thing. So maybe you can fill us a little bit in this project and what this means for the whole company.
Sure. So we have an exciting new silver discovery in Mexico these last 3 years. It's called the Nähere project in Jalisco State. And it already has a 45 million ounce silver equivalent resource base. We have identified numerous ore-bearing vein structures on this district-scale property that have never been drilled. So we do plan a very aggressive exploration and engineering program at Nähere this year, not only to finish the infill drilling of the initial discovery, but to try and significantly expand the resource base through step-out drilling. That's underway already, and we deferred the pre-feasibility study from last year to perhaps the end of this year. We need the new resources before we can finalize any pre-feasibility study, but what we would prefer to model this year is a larger mine, potentially our largest mine at Nähere, and certainly our lowest cost mine. You know, the preliminary economics for a small mine that we published last year showed $9 all-in sustaining costs in the model. I think with a larger mine, that number can come down significantly. I think Nähere has a chance to not only be our biggest mine and our lowest cost mine, I think it has the chance to be one of the lowest cost mines in the silver sector.
And how big bring this to cost down, the overall cost for the whole company?
I think Nähere has the potential to reduce our costs to single digits.
Wow, that's great. Brett, thank you for the update. See you next time in June or something. So then we have a next round of interview. And yeah, good luck with all the drilling, good luck with the silver price, and good luck with the technology.
Thanks, Joe.
Ja, das war ein Update von Endeavour. Ja, diese Technologie, hat er jetzt gerade gesagt, bei El Cubo testen sie eine neue Technologie. Da wird vor allem der Waste Rock, also dieses taube Gestein vom Erz getrennt. Das ist optisch funktioniert das über Laser und es wird dann sozusagen mit einer Druckluftpistole das taube Gestein weggeblasen. Dadurch können sie teilweise ihr taubes Gestein um 80–85% reduzieren. Wenn diese Technologie funktioniert, ist das wirklich ein Durchbruch. Diese Technologie wird nicht verwendet für die Silberindustrie. Im Moment, man kann auch diese Technologie nicht bei allen Minen anwenden, aber bei dieser El Cubo Mine funktioniert es gut und wie ihr gesagt habt, können Sie damit die Kosten wohl deutlich runterbringen, möglicherweise unter dem aktuellen Silberpreis, vielleicht sogar auf $12 und das würde natürlich den ganzen Minenplan für El Cubo, der ja eigentlich vorsieht, dass es bis Jahresende stilllegen bzw. runterfahren, wahrscheinlich über den Haufen schmeißen. Was ganz wichtig ist, auch Ihr neues Projekt, das hat das Potenzial, dass Sie, also da bohren Sie jetzt relativ aggressiv, dass Sie möglicherweise dort die Produktionskosten, die All-In-Kosten auf $6 runterdrücken können, was bedeuten würde, dass für die ganze Firma die All-In-Kosten auf unter $10 fallen würde und das wäre natürlich bei diesem Silberpreis auch schon sensationell und dort könnten Sie wirklich richtig Kohle verdienen. Die Aktie hat schon reagiert, ist aber noch weit weg von ihren Höchstständen und hat noch Riesenpotenzial. Vergessen Sie nicht, wir sind gerade jetzt am Beginn des zweiten Bullmarktes Und da kann man richtig noch Kohle verdienen. Das erste ist ein bisschen, ja, also die erste Creme ist einmal weg, sagen wir mal, aber dafür ist das Risiko auch deutlich reduziert und deswegen haben wir jetzt eigentlich ein extrem gutes Chancen-Risiko-Verhältnis, in diese Aktien zu investieren. Ja, das war's von Wien, von mir und Endeavour Silber.